YouTube, it's your boy Philly, aka Philly Boy Wonder, aka your mama goddamn favorite African, and we got the most expensive flop. I don't know what this means, but if I had to take a guess, it's probably about a movie or something, or some kind of business. I don't know what it is, y'all, but let's jump straight into this goddamn.
The year is 2025, and Netflix is about to launch what they say will be the start of their next big cinematic universe.
Oh,
It felt really cinematic.
It's been in production for the last 8 years, and with a budget of around $320 million,
Damn.
it's the most expensive movie they've ever made. It has everything. An all-star cast.
What do they call you, Pratt?
Yep. Pratt. CP. Right? Isn't that what you call me, Allison? CP?
Chris
The
Pratt
directors who
is
made
an
the last
underrated
two
actor.
Avengers movies.
It's massive, from Avengers Endgame, giant, ambitious.
And over 200 robots. Absolutely nuts.
What?
Nuts.
What could possibly go wrong?
Best script I've ever read.
Why have I never heard of this? What movie is
Ready
this?
for what?
Flashback to 2017. Swedish artist Simon Stålenhag launches a Kickstarter for The Electric State, a graphic
Electric
novel
State.
that's not like any other. It's presented more like a cinematic mood board. Just a girl and her robot going across a decaying 1990s science fiction version of America. No exposition dumping, just straight up world building through detailed visuals and text blurbs. The message about technology and corporate decay is clear as day, without the need for a single long preachy speech.
Heavily reminiscent of Star Wars, only with more corporate logos and dead people.
See, I don't like this, bro. I don't understand. Why does everybody want to build a franchise that's just some freaking copy and paste of Star Wars, yo? Because I'm going to be real, y'all. Look, this is like a little bit of a side note, but I saw the movie Dune Part 2, right? It came out, what, like last year? Yeah, Dune Part 2. I haven't even seen Dune 1, but it's like I was with some homies. They wanted to go see it, and I was like, whatever, might as well. I'll just treat the first one like a prequel. And I saw it, and I'm like, okay, as a movie viewer and as a movie consumer and as somebody who appreciates film, I could look at it and see the pieces of it that actually like fit for me, right? I like the cinematography, I like the music, I like some of the characters. I thought it was a okay movie, but I thought it was a little overrated because to me, when I'm watching Dune, I'm over here thinking this literally is like a copy and paste Star Wars with some big ass worms in the sand. That's really what it is to me. And then now you got this franchise, The Electric State, whatever that means, talking about let's build a universe like Star Wars. Like, why can't you be unique? Why can't you be like Harry Potter? Why can't you be like Marvel? Why can't you be like goddamn even Star Trek, even though it's low-key Star Wars also? But you know what I mean, though? It's like this whole copy and paste and rehash and just making a whole universe, but it's based off somebody else's shit. It don't really sit right with me.
To put something out there, if it's a painting or if it's writing, like to put something out there and say, this is a little snippet of what I think the world feels like.
It makes around $150,000 in just 2 days.
Jesus.
Fans gush online. It's the most cinematic thing never filmed. Naturally, Hollywood comes bidding for movie rights around a year before it's even on store shelves. Enter the Russo brothers.
We love being told good stories, and we love telling good stories.
Around the time they're finishing up
Okay.
directing Avengers Endgame, they come across Simon's Kickstarter and see their next billion-dollar franchise. From a marketing standpoint, it's a dream come true.
Just stick to Marvel,
think about
y'all.
it. A cult-like fan
Y'all
base,
got something good going.
post-apocalyptic world, filled to the brim with 90s nostalgia. The thing even has an iconic cartoon mascot already. They got the entire Marvel fan base wrapped around their finger with this. The whole having no plot thing to go off is a risk they're willing to take. Universal Pictures signs on. Andy Muschietti, who just adapted the 2019 It reboot, is set to direct, and Millie Bobby Brown is cast in the lead role. The
Damn,
Russo-
see, they got a good lineup, bro. You got the Russo brothers, you got the It guy, and then that goddamn Millie Bobby. I mean, she kind of, you know,
brothers are behind the scenes
This looks like
producing.
they good to
Everything's
go.
locked in. Until it isn't. Andy Muschietti leaves to direct his passion project.
Well, there's that.
And the Russos have
Oh
no
my
choice
god,
but
I did not know that he directed The Flash.
Passion
No wonder why that
project.
shit was so trash. I'm just kidding.
And the
But that
Russos
movie
have
was
no
terrible.
choice but to step in as directors. Over the next few years, the budget balloons past $200 million, and Universal gets nervous. It's a lot of money for something so hit or miss. The source material is slow, bleak, and there's a little bit of trouble figuring out the narrative. So they walk.
It's tricky. We tried to make this one in the studio system. It just wasn't going to be affordable.
And the Russos take it to Netflix, a company that doesn't just want to hit. They see Disney's success with the Marvel and Star Wars interconnected universe thing, and want something like that of their own. Merchandise, spin-offs,
Bro.
the kind of franchises that build theme parks and licensing empires.
You can't
Funny
compete
thing
with
is,
Marvel.
they've already tried this same thing with The Gray Man. Another $200 million movie directed by the Russos, featuring an A-list cast, with planned sequels to turn this into a universe.
I think it's so hilarious how I haven't heard of either of these mega franchise films that they were planning on making, like the Gray Man and then the Electric shit. Like, these are both universes that they were talking about that was gonna quote-unquote compete with Marvel. And me, someone who's very tapped into entertainment and pop culture, I haven't heard a single peep about any of this shit. I don't know if this is a long time ago or somewhat recently. Well, actually, earlier in the video, he said like 2017 times, so it's not too long ago, but still, I'm like, how have I never heard of this? I mean, that must mean it's that bad.
The response, lukewarm.
I enjoyed the Gray Man movie, but it was not as good as your book.
Well,
It
thank
just,
you for saying that.
So it came
just
out.
wasn't the same story. They Hollywoodized it.
Absolutely. What I say, and I don't know how this makes me sound, it's like the movie is the best possible commercial for my writing. And if you're a writer, you want eyeballs on your work. And so, you know, it's not as gritty. It's not...
Not nearly.
Critics said it looks expensive and felt empty, and the cinematic universe collapsed before it even began.
Maybe this movie showcases the Russo brothers' biggest pitfall as directors. They need quality control.
But thanks to their business model relying mostly on subscriptions, they can afford to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on an absolute flop without worrying about box office numbers or scaring investors. So they say, second time's a charm. Hand full control over to the Russos, give them a big blank check, and tell them to do exactly what they did with Gray Man. You know, brighter colors, more jokes, more Marvel.
If you ran up, tried to do it twice and went, what's wrong with the engine? Turned around and you know, grabbed this and went, why is it unplugged? Did you not charge the... Like, it's just like a series of like bits about cords
These
and
zoom
plugs
ins are making it super
Fast
awkward.
forward to fall 2022. Netflix officially announces they're in production and releases a list of the cast. This thing is absolutely stacked. It captures the news headlines' attention.
The Electric State.
Brothers were once again able to gather a top-class star lineup that is in no way inferior to its previous movies.
Meanwhile, fans online are now starting to fear the worst. How would you turn this book into a film? What did the Russos need to get right? It's obviously fundamentally an extremely visual experience. They need to get the cinematography right as an absolute #1 priority.
Always.
That means believable and not too CGI.
Always.
For that aspect, I believe the Russos can deliver.
This film is one of the most ambitious visual effects movies I've ever worked on in terms of the number of CG characters that we have to develop.
Yeah, we've done a lot of movies that require an
Who was that?
extensive visual effect.
Oh my
extensive
goodness.
visual effect work.
Lord have
This
mercy.
might be the one that it was the most complex.
The VFX don't look good, this movie doesn't work at all.
The tone, hands down. The entire thing could be ruined if the tone isn't right. Well, if you only knew.
There's a departure in tone from the book.
Jesus
Very
Christ,
intentional
yo.
departure from tone to broaden out the movie, to have it appeal to a family audience because we wanted kids to see the film. And
Bro, quit blinking, man.
Which elements were so important
Jesus.
to keep present in the film?
Okay, hold on, y'all. Now, I thought that was just that one interview. This brother on the left over here, whichever Russo brother that is, this man cannot stop blinking. Look at him.
Which
1, 2,
elements were
3,
so important
4,
to keep
5,
present in
6,
the film?
7,
It was the
8,
theme of the book.
9,
I
10.
think it's about
God damn.
being kind and staying connected to each other.
The power of the book lies in how unsettling these images are.
That was the most important thing to us. We have kids that are all Gen Z, part of the technological generation, and we made this movie for them.
But it just wasn't the same story. They Hollywoodized it.
It doesn't take long for this project to lose focus. You see, just like they've done in the past, the Russos go on an all-out spending spree. The first thing on the list, to hire 6 different VFX studios to make 175 different robots, all rendered with their own set of fully moving parts, but none of the scary abominations you see in the book. Remember how the book was really good at sending a message without saying anything at all?
And I also think like if I would do stuff that
I haven't read
really
it.
clearly states my political beliefs, it would be bad art.
How about instead we have the characters give literal speeches?
We feel like it speaks very powerfully to what we're all going through today.
I know the war happened, and things fell apart, and life really sucked. And maybe for a little while, the Neurocasters helped you forget that.
So this movie came
We
out
got
also. I'm
used to
so
it that we
confused.
thought that's what real life was. But it's not. Real life, it's contact. It's you and me. We're flesh and bone, yeah, but we're also electricity. And when we hug and laugh and hold hands and argue, my particles stay with you and yours stay with me.
Best script I've ever read.
In 2024, fans finally get a first look.
What is this?
Oh, so this is real recent.
Seattle, my hometown.
Oh my goodness.
To the general public, it looks interesting.
The fact that, of course, it stars Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt.
A lot of good actors. I have a, March 14th, PG-13. It doesn't look bad.
It looks
But
like
for
George
fans of the
Lucas.
book, it confirms their worst fears.
This is my favorite book that isn't a manga.
To double check that I hadn't time traveled to April Fool's Day after watching this trailer. Because what the hell was this?
The first trailer came out last week, and it was so bad that I'm already wishing that they would remake this movie.
I think one person read the book, wrote
this is
notes,
about to come out.
gave them to the rest of the team, and then were promptly fired for doing their job.
It's probably gonna suck.
And basically just turned it into a very generic sci-fi flick. And then you've got Millie Bobby Brown as the lead. Look, I don't care. Sorry, but outside of Stranger Things, everything I've seen her in is completely awful.
Then there's the budget. Behind the scenes, it skyrocketed to around $320 million.
God damn,
making it
bro.
not just the most expensive
get some of that?
Netflix original, but one of the most expensive movies of all time.
$320 million. It just looks really goofy and bland.
Part of that cost comes from the tight deadlines, which due to a break from an offset car casualty, are now even tighter.
Bro, I'm just so confused because I'm like, aren't the Russo brothers like, they're like them, right? They're Himothy, they did Avengers, they did Civil War, Endgame, and Infinity War, and probably some other Marvel movies I'm forgetting to name right now. But like, bro, they have done objectively like historic dope movies in big franchises. So I'm like, I don't understand how they dropping the ball not once but twice with the Electric State and the Gray Man thing, whatever it's called, Orion. I'm like, how do y'all fumble this bad but then deliver so well on something else? I'm confused. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the style, I guess, and they got to replicate a book. I don't know. Maybe superhero shit's
But
easier.
even
I don't
with
know.
all the money spent on VFX and labor, the internet finds out that the Russos have been incorporating AI into their voice acting work.
The ending message is, the robots are just as human as the humans.
no.
You mean the guys with an AI movie studio are defending the robots? Oh my gosh.
Some claim the budget is closer to $390 million when you count the marketing. And they went all out on the marketing, dressing this movie up like it's going to be the start of something big, even if it's not.
About a week ago, Funko announced an entire line of pops.
Some of the things they spend money on are an Electric State podcast.
I need to know who this woman is.
Welcome back to State Secrets, the companion podcast for the Russo brothers' newest film, The Electric State.
Companion podcast, huh?
They also make a Netflix exclusive
Yeah,
mobile
that-
game.
How?
Did I just say Crip?
They also make a Netflix exclusive
Did I
mobile
just say
game.
Crip? I said Crip! Yo, chill, Russo. I didn't know you gangbanging like that, brother. Oh my goodness. Crip! That's crazy.
How original.
Hire an actual robotics lab to make real-life robots that say jokes.
Oh, hell no. They come on them food delivery boxes, too. One of them bitches ran over my foot in L.A. I do not rock with those.
And I am called Louise. We are proud veterans of the robot-human war, which the stupid meatbags somehow won.
What the hell?
Can you say something nice?
And of course,
That's
there's
the mark of
a
the
bunch
beast. This is the mark of the beast, man. This AI shit's gonna take over.
ads with
I don't
Mr.
like it.
Peanut, who's one of the main characters in the movie.
I signed that peace treaty because it recognized robots as a people. I don't guess you'd know what it's like to have your very right to exist depend on a piece of paper.
I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. The CGI on this is pretty bad for something that has a $300 million budget. I'm just gonna be so real. Like, it's not bad in general, I guess, but for how high the budget is, I would expect it to look a little less goofy and cartoony. But that's just me.
What it's like to have your very right to exist depend on a piece of paper.
Are you ready for this one? Mr. Peanut. He's actually the reason I've been so excited about this movie, because if you guys don't know, I am a big fan of like advertising characters.
Fast forward to March
I didn't know that,
2025.
sorry.
The day has finally arrived.
We finally got to see Millie Bobby Brown in the flesh.
There's a massive red carpet viewing. The energy is up.
I live on a farm, so
Try not to think about the forest and just focus on the tree. And
There's not one Seinfeld reference in this whole movie. One of the biggest influences of the 90s, and there's like nothing.
The cast is all there. Besides Giancarlo Esposito,
That's an
he's just
underrated
enjoying
goat,
life.
bro.
However, the next day,
Underrated
the Russos
actor.
look at their computer, and the internet is on fire. It's bad.
Have you ever watched a movie that was so unbelievably bad that it ruined your entire day?
When was the point where you decided I should stop trying to take this seriously? Was it 10 minutes in where Mr. Peanut was the f***ing leader?
They have attacked humans, and you're telling me that they're not going to deactivate all
No,
of the
because
robots?
they have rights.
How?
What?
A
And
bunch
their
of humans
leader-
are dead, and we
Listen.
had a war!
The movie's now getting more attention than all the prior days combined, and for all the wrong reasons.
This movie cost $320 million to make.
And if you can see all those dollars there on screen, you are better at this than we are.
15% on Rotten Tomatoes. Headlines calling it the worst movie of 2025. And oh no, Roger Ebert gives it a 2 out of 4.
This is the
Fuck
most
Robert
tax
Ebert.
write-off movie I've ever seen.
It had predictable story. The writing was terrible. It gave no time for the characters to build up anything.
It's really not that good. It's a bunch of robots punching each other and stuff, sitting there going, yeah, you know, all excited and stuff, because, robots punching each other, that kind of stuff. Instead, you're just sitting there going,
Despite all the bad reviews, horrible profit.
I don't know why, but that guy just made me uncomfortable.
Despite all the
I don't
bad
like that.
reviews,
I don't like
horrible
that.
profit margins, and the fact that this is the second time Netflix has made the same exact mistake, shareholders don't even flinch. Instead, this movie demonstrates how different Netflix is from the traditional movie studio, and how easily they could spend so much money for a middling result without Wall Street's noticing.
crazy.
Stock is
It's
even
true, though.
slightly up this week.
Because they be upping the fucking rate every single month, bro. Every single month I see a headline, Netflix is raising their prices. Netflix is raising their prices. This is why I canceled my damn subscription. Like, fuck y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not
Then
paying
it's
that.
all about views and-
HBO is way better. I'm just being real. HBO, Disney Plus, Hulu, all them shits are way better. Netflix got a couple good gems, I'll be honest. But like overall, I'm like, what am I paying for here? Besides some comedy specials that I want to see.
Building a portfolio. In fact, Netflix's chief content officer recently said she'd greenlight the project all over again.
Okay,
Take from
girl,
that what
you-
you will, but that sounds to me like sequel. However, it looks like the Russo brothers are facing a slightly worse outcome if they don't play their cards right. Each movie following Avengers Endgame has made chips in their reputation, and the public's reception of each one has gotten progressively worse.
That also is true. Like I said, I'm glad they said this, because I'm gonna be real. They did deliver when it comes to Endgame and Infinity War and Civil War, right? They really did deliver, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I forgot which ones they directed exactly. I pray to God they didn't direct the Thor movie, though. Love and Thunder, that might have been literally, I swear to God, that might have been the worst Marvel movie of all time. That shit was unbelievably bad. Like, really, really, really bad, right? And it seems like, I think I said this in my last video, like Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars and all these other big blockbuster team-up movies that are supposed to come up soon, it feels like they're rushing it. I just feel like they're rushing this shit, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm kind of worried they're gonna destroy the franchise, because ever since Endgame, it's been a downward spiral where it's just been a fucking shit bender for the past 5 years. And I don't know. I pray to God, bro. I pray to God, because Marvel is like one of my favorite things. I pray to God they don't destroy my childhood, man, because Doomsday can either be a freaking masterpiece or it could be an actual catastrophic flop. So I'm just praying, y'all. I'm praying.
They are
I'm
supposed
praying.
to direct the next 2 Avengers movies, but after these flops, people are starting to question whether that's the best choice. As for the author, Simon Stålenhag, he really likes the movie.
For me, the book is like a keyhole into a world.
All right,
So
bro.
it's really
Simon, stop
exciting to
kissing
see them
ass,
come
man.
in
People
and
don't like that shit.
bust the doors wide open.
It may not be as bleak
He
as
wants a
fans
check.
I
like,
feel like relating this movie to the book at all is just such a spit in the face to the original author.
but according to some interviews from the past, that was never exactly Simon's goal.
A lot of this, like being cynical and just focusing on that, like look how bad things are. That's just kind of, it's almost like an aesthetic. You have to provide some humanity, like some hope. You
Oh
have to be
yeah, see,
serious.
this guy's spitting right here. For 320 mil, they could have given 6,400 film students $50K to make their own adaptation of the book. You know, realistically, that obviously was never going to happen. But shit, bro, with that kind of concept, I mean, hey, they could have given a brother here $15K. I would have been cool. Like, hey, yo, just throw some bread my way, bro. You know, fuck the film students. I'll make some cool content on YouTube. You know, I'll make my own adaptation, right? If y'all want to give me some bread, I'll make my own skit. I got you, bro. But yeah, I don't know. I've never heard about this movie until literally today. So all I know is that I will never be seeing it. It looks pretty buns. Actually, hold on. The Electric State. What were the ratings? Okay, 320 mil. 15%, 5.9, 30. Wow, motherfuckers hate this movie. Anthony Mackie was in this? What the hell? Yo. They actually did have a good lineup. God damn, this is really bad for, like, everybody. I'm surprised this shit did so poorly. Yeah, y'all, I don't know. I guess it wasn't it. If y'all have seen that, I'm really curious to hear what you think, you know. But I will 100% never ever watch that movie because I've already kind of had a foul taste in my mouth. Pause. But yeah, y'all, let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna see y'all in the next goddamn video. Like, comment, subscribe. Deuces.
Shade on my neck is so bright like a bee. Ballin' LA and I feel like Kareem. Run up a mill at my nigga make me. Know that the money is all that you see. Claim you a vegan, but then you want beef.